Hey everybody, my name is Sarah Elise and I'm an astrologer in Toronto, Canada, and this is my newsletter going out on October 20th, 2021. We have a full moon happening in about an hour and a half. So I wanted to quickly drop a video just to talk to you guys about what the energy is really feeling like for me. Um, this has not been an easy build up to the new moon or to the full moon. We I don't know if any of you have been experiencing this in the last 4 days or so, but there's been this it's almost like been this misery or this like really heavy energy, like facing into a lot of conflict and a lot of struggle. And I'm starting to kind of get information about what the purpose of that is. So I just wanted to share whatever it is that I'm experiencing in hopes that it can be useful to you. So the full moon today is a full moon of Aries. What that means is we have the sun in Libra, and she's at 27 degrees, conjunct Mars in Libra at 23 degrees, opposing the moon in Aries at 27 degrees. And this will come into perfect opposition in about an hour and a half at about 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this morning. So pretty much right now. What's making this full moon really interesting and making the build up to it kind of difficult is the fact that Pluto is sitting in direct square of the sun, Mars, and the moon. And Pluto has been in square with Mars and the sun for a number of days now. So Pluto and Capricorn, we wrestled with Pluto and Capricorn all last year through 2020. That was the big theme of the year was Capricorn. And starting to take down and dissolve some of the structural rules and some of the structural social order that we had become accustomed to, and in order to rebuild it into something different, which is where we're at right now. So this full moon has been kind of bringing back, coupled with the fact that we've been in Mercury retrograde in Libra, bringing back kind of old forms that may or may not be useful to us any longer, like old thought forms, old behavior patterns, old emotional forms, old attachments, old structures that kept us upright, old conditioning. Capricorn is the archetype of conditioning, right? It's the archetype that we use to kind of build ourselves a home or build ourselves a structure that we can be safe in. And oftentimes the structures that we build are karmically determined, so they're not actually safe, but they are archetypally appropriate for us in order to learn lessons, right? And these, a lot of these lessons have been very, very present in the last few days. Now, the theme of the full moon, new moon, like Libra to Aries, is dynamically around the expression of self and self in relationship. Okay, so the Libra new moon a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we had the Libra new moon, which was about beauty and harmony and bringing a sense of balance and cohesion into the life that we're living, planting seeds of relationship and seeds of connection. At the full moon point, what we see is the fullness of whatever it is that was planted at the new moon. So we all of a sudden get the reflection of where we actually are relative to our goal or relative to the new planting that happened at new moon. And so as we approach the full moon, who we really are has come to the fore. And who we are, however, at the moment is being squared by Pluto and Capricorn. So who we are is being confronted by the conditioning or the non-regenerative conditioned patterns or the structural patterns that are seemingly holding us back or getting in our way or binding us or trying to control us. I mean, there could be any kind of way that we are right now perceiving ourselves as not being able to be as free as we want. Okay. I think that is essentially the energy that I've been tracking, is this inability to be me or to be free, to be who I want to be in relationship with others in my life, to create the life I want. And the thing, quote unquote, that is preventing me from my freedom are these kind of conditioned inner responses or inner beliefs or inner structures that really don't feel authentic, but they feel confrontational, they feel structural, they almost feel like oppressive, right? And we might be experiencing this as outer forms that are preventing us from being what we want, or like outer, we might be perceiving this in the government, or we might be perceiving this in our families, or we might be perceiving this in our businesses, that there's some kind of a confrontation to what we want to be, to the sense of self that we feel we justly deserve or we have the right to, versus where we actually are. And like this confrontation, I've been noticing the square to to Pluto from the Sun Mars a lot in the days leading up to the full moon, because I've been having like confrontations with people, like really weird ones. I mean, I don't want to share too many personal details on these videos because it's not really about me. It's about we, right? This is about all of us. But like I've been kind of shocked at some of the things that have come to me or come my way from other people that have been so alarming, and I've had to like really take a breath before responding, because the sharpness of this confrontation has just been so violent, right? Mars square Pluto is always begetting violence of some kind. It's always a confrontation with violence, with assertiveness, with aggression, with will. In any case, I think what I would like to just leave you guys with is that this full moon is bringing to light some of the conditioning that may be preventing you, quote unquote, preventing. Everything is there for a reason. So it's not working against you, right? It's not against you. It's just allowing you to see the things or the structures that are perhaps kind of holding you back, or the things that you are responsible for that you perceive as, you know, taking you down or preventing you from liberating yourself in some way. So to see something is the first step in changing it. And this morning when I was doing my meditation, what was coming in was I believe the remedy for this, or the invitation of this pattern right now on a more of like a ascension level. So what I was getting is I was in the kind of the tunnel of the structural constructive kind of conditioned places, like feeling into the emotional body, feeling into the struggle, feeling into the strife. And I remembered when I was inside of it that all I had to do was link up. And if I linked up while inside of that dark place, well, you know, that perhaps there was some kind of a liberation that I could achieve. And the second that I did it with my energetic intent, because our will is what we are, we will ourselves to link upwards to our higher self, or to whatever it is you want to call that quality of ascended self, witness self, whatever it might be. As I allowed myself to link up into it, my apologies, my phone has just started ringing. What happened was there was this opening energetically. My whole system just basically came into union and came into peace. So there was a cohesion that was created. The tension was released, and there was a liberation. And what it was reminding me of is that I, as an individual, am always in a co-creative relationship, Libra. Me as an individual, Aries, I'm constantly in a co-creative relationship, Libra, with the universe. And that I have the right to ask for help and to merge upwards and to partner with this divine force that is running through all of us. And that I can actually be in partnership with that force, and also I can be myself within that. I can maintain my freedom within that. And together we can work on the responsibilities, we can work on the problems, we can work on the structures, we can work on the limiting beliefs, we can work on whatever in this structural level needs to be worked on. But we can do this as a team. And this reminds me of the fact that Jupiter, the great benefic, sitting in Aquarius, is trining the sun and sextiling the moon right now, this moment, this morning. It came into perfect connection with both the solar and the lunar force. So that means that within us, the liberation of the tension has to do with belief, Jupiter, in liberation, belief in a greater purpose, belief in the collective, and belief in some kind of a connective field that wants us all to succeed. Aquarius. So that's the theme right now of the full moon for me. And I hope that you can get some value out of this conversation. It's about acknowledging the struggle, acknowledging the structural reform that's needed, lifting up into a higher place of hopefulness and belief in something greater, enabling yourself to have a vision of the future, which can guide you, and coming into a co-creative relationship where you maintain your sovereignty, but you're also in a divine rapport and you're using your will to listen up. Okay. So this is kind of how it's been playing out for me this morning. I hope that was helpful. And as always, I mean, I'm more of an esoteric human. I think about things energetically. So this language may or may not appeal to you. You have to sort of translate it into your own reality to see how it's playing out at your level. Take it or leave it. It's simply my humble offering. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the full moon. And remember, the full moon is a time, it's not a time of planting seeds, right? It's a time of acknowledging, seeing what is, celebrating your successes, and then deciding what the next step is. Like, what are we going to let go of based on what I now know, what I now see, and what I've now learned? How can I take the next step? Okay, thank you.